Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Coming up in the next hour, we have a member of the Icelandic Parliament who's leading the charge against not letting the British government, through banking fraud, take over their nation. This is economic criminal conquest. They've used anti-terror laws to seize the bank accounts of the entire nation. This is just unbelievably outrageous. That's coming up. Then Catherine Austin Fitz, the hour after that. We're simulcasting 3 hours of the 4-hour radio show today, visually, as we do every day, at prisonplanet.tv. For all the prisonplanet.tv viewers out there tuning in, we are simulcasting now. For the rest of the hour, Tyrel Ventura, son of Jesse Ventura, he's a filmmaker in his own right, also is involved in a lot of other media production. He is an associate producer on the show, did a lot of the research. He's the guy that first primed the pump with his dad 4 or 5 years ago about 9/11. And then when I first met Jesse Ventura 4 years ago and gave him Terror Storm and some other films about government-sponsored terror, he said, yeah, my son's introduced me to this. And so that helped break the ice and get him further informed about what was happening, leading us today to the #1 news show on True TV, record ratings for a new show, Conspiracy Theory with Jesse Ventura. And so very, very exciting. We'll talk about his favorite last 6 episodes, this final episode of the first season. It'll be internal politics if it doesn't get picked up for another even longer season. Again, incredibly successful. Even the major trade publications are reporting that. Record ratings. How did this get on air? So many facets to discuss with Tyrel Ventura. Then we'll also get the inside scoop on, does he think his dad will run for president in 2012 and what that might look like. But that's coming up later in the interview. We'll also open the phones up some for your specific questions about the show, Conspiracy Theory on True TV. The final episode of the 7-part series airing tonight, 9 p.m. Central, and, of course, 10 p.m. Eastern. And they always air last week's episode in the hour before. So that'll be 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern if you missed that, the lead-in coming up tonight. We're going to break in a moment, Tyrel, but first off, going to you, it's great to have you with us.
Oh, it's happy to be here, man. Thank you for all the help you've given us in the production of the show and for coming on and giving Jesse a good format to use, voice his opinion.
Well, I want to thank you for including me in the show. I want to thank your father, the producer, the creator, for keeping his word and really having this be a fair, fact-finding show where Jesse really goes out. I mean, what you're seeing is what happens. This is real. And to be part of something real and trailblazing on TV, this is groundbreaking.
Oh, I love the fact that we are, so many shows you watch, like the History Channel, National Geographic, and all that, they immediately go to the kind of government-sponsored sense of history, and it was kind of nice, refreshing for all of us to work on a show that said, let's give all these other ideas a chance. Let's not follow the status quo, and let's go and find things that no one's talking about in mainstream media, and then put them on TV. And a lot of credit for True TV for having the guts and the fun to stand behind this and put us on the air.
Tyrel, I don't know how you did it. Your father, Jesse Ventura, had a bet going that it wouldn't air. He was glad to be proven wrong with the production staff. I mean, you guys put incredible amounts of work and research, and this was a big gamble for you guys to do this, and it's been successful, so I commend you.
Oh, thank you. But, we had a great production staff that we worked tirelessly all summer and fall to, put this thing together. It took a long time and a lot of convincing and a lot of different edits and a lot of that to kind of get the show the way it is now, and we're all happy with it. We couldn't be happy with the ratings and everything else, and got the fan mail coming in, and it thank you for everyone for believing in the show and watching it. It's been a wild ride to get this stuff on the air, but it feels good to finally have it out there.
Absolutely. Tyrel Ventura, stay there. We're coming right back.
Do you believe everything you've been told? Ever feel like you are being watched? Do you think the government is concealing vital information?
I've heard things that'll blow your mind.
Now, one man has the guts to seek the truth.
I've been a governor, a fighter, a Navy SEAL.
Jesse Ventura is not afraid to take on the institutions he was once a part of.
This is what they don't want me to see.
And this Wednesday, the team heads north to investigate secrets in the Arctic tundra.
What are they hiding up there in Alaska?
The project is called HARP. Its function, classified.
What do you think they're doing down there?
They tell us we're up here studying the Northern Lights. You don't study the Northern Lights for 25 years. Come on.
What type of offensive weapon does HARP have the potential to be?
Not only, can they manipulate weather, but the idea of knocking aircraft out of the sky and leaving no residual damage.
But in order for Jesse to find the truth, he must see it for himself.
What you're saying to me is scary.
Just over the ridge, it comes into view.
There it is. Wow. They sure do have a lot of antennas there. Governor, it doesn't look that scary from up here. But when you can't see what it does, it gives off radio frequencies. It'd be very scary.
Now that Jesse and his team have seen the facility with their own eyes, it's time for them to confront the people that run it head on.
Now, you did formally call them?
We called this facility. We called the Air Force directly.
The installation is open to the public, but no one is allowed in. And just as the former governor approaches the gate, he's stopped.
Come on, man, I'm a Navy SEAL. When I get denied something, I do the opposite of getting intimidated. I get angry.
Jesse is about to walk right on through when suddenly...
Hold on a second, guys. I got a problem.
The camera equipment begins to fail. The crew suspects they are being targeted with powerful radio waves.
This is more than unclassified. That's bull.
You won't believe what happens next. Find out on Conspiracy Theory with Jesse Ventura. Premieres Wednesday at 10, only on True TV.
Now, that was the first episode. The last episode in the first series is airing tonight. Tyrel Ventura, one of the associate producers, researchers, camera guy, working so hard on this project because he's the guy that woke his dad up. He's a conspiracy theorist. Those of us that question the official story are called that. Tyrel, tell us about the episode coming up tonight.
Tonight we got 2012, and it kind of, started with all the rumblings of, the whole Aztec calendar and all that. But then as we kind of we were kind of first like, it sounds a little hocus pocus. But then when we started kind of like looking in, to the idea that, okay, what if, some major catastrophe is on the horizon and the powerful elite know about it? And, will they would your government let the people know about it ahead of time, or would they just set out to protect themselves? And so then it ventured into that realm, and it's a great episode. It's a great way to finish the season, and it's pretty frightening, some of the things we find out. You got to watch it tonight and see the things that we've uncovered and the places that we send Jesse in this episode. It's a fun one.
Talking to you and your father and some of the other researchers early on, you guys thought that a lot of what we're hearing about 2012 is baloney, and clearly there's a lot of hype, 1,000 different, views and ideas about what's coming up with 2012. But then after you guys did your investigation, I don't want to give away too much for tonight, you got convinced that, well, the government and rich people clearly think something's going on, and they are getting ready.
Exactly. And I've talked to numerous friends of mine in, like, big oil and things like that, like acquaintances I have out here living in Los Angeles. You're kind of around a lot of power and money, especially in the film industry. If you talk to some of those guys, and they all tell you about, like, oh, yeah, my family has a compound built here and that kind of thing, and you're kind of like, but for what purpose? And it's like, well, to keep us protected. But then, they'll never follow through the chain of thought of, well, why? What do you know that I don't know? And that's what this episode's kind of about. It's not specifically that the world's going to end in 2012, but if a catastrophic event were to face the world, who's going to get protected? Not you or me. They're not going to. I don't think they'd care about protecting us. I think they'd care more about protecting their own power and influence and making sure that their families lived on in a catastrophic event.
Well, exactly. In Switzerland, they have well-appointed facilities with food and water underground for their entire population for at least 2 years. Russia has it for their entire population for at least a year. Other nations have this, but growing up in Dallas, they designate the underground car garages as nuclear fallout shelters, but our government has spent more than all these other governments combined on its own secret bases and underground facilities, and the public isn't even allowed to know about it. The public is told if we get attacked or an asteroid hits or a bioweapon gets released or a chemical weapon gets released, sorry, you're out of luck, you're dead. And that, of course, giving people an idea, is what this episode gets into. I mean,